Thanks, Speaker. My question is for the acting Premier. I know that the Minister of Municipal Affairs is visiting Chatham Kent today. He's surveying the state of emergency after recent flooding, to which I appreciate. Swollen by days of heavy rain and melting snow, the Thames River peaked Saturday night in Chatham at 5¼ meters above normal. That's over 17.2 feet. Houses and businesses have been ruined. Citizens have been working around the clock, monitoring their property and operating pumps. The municipality of Chatham Kent opened its convention centres to residents who had been forced to leave their homes, but the full extent of damage is still unclear. When a disaster is over, we're going to need government support. When my constituents turn to your government for help, what are you going to tell them?
Thank you. Acting Premier.
Speaker, first of all, I just, on behalf of the government and all members of this House, I want to obviously show our sympathy with the people of Chatham Kent, the people of Brantford who are going through this extraordinary circumstance as the spring is arriving and ice is thawing and the rising levels in the rivers that we've seen. Speaker, just watching the images on television, and I'm sure the member opposite is personally involved in assisting his constituents. As Speaker, you are in your own community, you can see the distress and devastation. Speaker, the Premier just last Thursday, visited Brantford herself personally and assured the people around the entire region that the Ontario government will be there with all kinds of supports through various programs that we have in place to make sure that the communities, both residents and the municipalities, have the opportunity to work through the challenges that they're going through. Right now, of course, the immediate focus is to contain this flood, and I'm sure the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services will speak more to that effort. Thank you.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. I spent the weekend touring my riding to observe firsthand the damage and distress my constituents were experiencing. This past Friday and Saturday, fire crews, dive teams, and EMS rescued many residents, including children, from their flooded properties in Chatham Kent. And I want to congratulate the Lower Thames Valley Conservation Authority for continually monitoring the severity of the flooding. I am so proud of how everyone pulled and worked together. The worst may be over, but until water levels go back to normal, our first responders are still going to have a tough time. People will still be out of house and home. So, to the acting Premier, what specifically will the government do to support my constituents, the families and businesses affected by this disaster?
Question. Thank you.
Speaker, the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
So thank you again to the member for this question, and certainly our government has been engaged and involved, and I know my colleague has said the same. For all the people affected, our thoughts are with them, and we want to thank the first responders, our municipal leaders, and everyone that's been, and I know, Mr. Speaker, you are in your community, also in our Six Nation. So there is actually the Minister of Municipal Affairs actually moving forward today in going to Brantford and in your community in Chatham Kent to talk to our municipal leaders, our first responders, in looking at the possibilities of our program. So let me talk to you about what we're going to be doing. Is basically we're going to be assessing the damage caused, sadly, by the flooding,
yes,
and this may lead to an activation of our Provincial Disaster Recovery Assistance Program, and that program is the only one in Canada that offers that support. Thank you.